in 1991, the encounter I had at Mount Nebo Baptist Church when I realized that God spoke to me.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going crazy. I said, no, this can't be happening. This can't be happening. I know, I was singing in the choir. I was teaching Sunday school classes. I was teaching Bible study. I was what was called a good Christian young man.
Yeah.
But I wasn't trying to have no encounter with God where I would end up preaching. I wasn't trying to get none of that kind of stuff. I thought that was for the holy rollers and for those, fanatics and stuff. I was just trying to be good enough just not to go to hell. I wasn't trying to, I wasn't trying to be that kind of Christian, But when you get a God encounter, it would change you.
Yeah.
It would change. I say, I was saved on Sunday, but I wasn't saved Monday through Saturday yet.
Yeah.
And a lot of us, we realize that we have got a relationship with God, but it's not a 7-day-a-week relationship yet. It's not a 24/7 relationship. I had a person on my Facebook page. I'm not sure, maybe it was Instagram. It was one of them, but they had this little thing on there, and they said, I want to be friends on social media with my pastor. I'm saved, but my page ain't saved yet. Because they said they be putting some stuff on their page that their pastor shouldn't be seeing. And I thought about it, so I sent a little thing to it because I know her pretty good. I said, so you'll be friends with somebody else's pastor. Because you let me on your page, but you want to let your pastor on your page. But, it was like, she said she's saved, but her page ain't saved. And I just started thinking about what happens when we have an encounter with God. An encounter. When you meet God and all of a sudden you start smelling like God, you start looking like God, you start feeling like God. Have you ever met somebody and you hug them and you smell like them for a couple hours later because of what perfume or what cologne they was wearing? That's what an encounter with God would do for you. Why Moses didn't smell like fire when he got back down and talked to Jethro and his wife? If you looked at the movie, The 10 Commandments, they had him all lit up like he had this glow all around and all that stuff. Hollywood could do some stuff to mess me up. Now I do know the Bible said that his appearance had a glow to it, but Hollywood had it looking a little different than what the Bible described. But anyway, when you encounter God, there's going to be a change in your life. Something different is going to be about you. It's just something about Moses' encounter with God that changed him. Why Moses didn't have this encounter in Egypt when he was a prince, being groomed to be king? Why he had to be on the run from the law? Why he had to be out in the wilderness for God to get his attention? And I have the answer. Because a lot of times, if we're not in the wilderness, if we're not in bad places, most of the time, we won't even hear God.
Yeah.
We can't even encounter God. God, unfortunately, has to catch us in our storms, in our bad situations. A lot of us won't even pray during good times. The only time we pray during good times is to keep the good times rolling and never experience the bad times. But God, if you've never had a storm in your life, chances are you hadn't really had a God encounter until you get the storm. Not saying that I want you to have a storm. Hopefully you've already had it, but just in case you hadn't, for you to really get that encounter, you're going to have a storm. Because oftentimes, if you hadn't had a storm, you feel like everything is okay. I like the way life is. What you mean we having a hard time? We ain't having a hard time. And you ain't even really working to do nothing yet. You hadn't even had any experience. You hadn't had no sickness. You hadn't had no illness. You hadn't had no debt. You hadn't had no crisis yet. But yet, everything seems to be all right. Why is it that we have to go through the wilderness in order to see what God can do for us? I used to always say, don't let me be the one have to experience that in order to appreciate what God can do. I remember growing up hearing a lot of people talk about what they had to go through in order to accept the call from God on their life. And I said, well, God, if you would call me, and I had an idea God, I really had an idea God would be calling me to ministry. But I said, don't let me be so disobedient that I have to be on my hospital bed to say, okay. Don't let me be so disobedient that I have to lose everything I have for me to say, okay. Let me respond okay when things are not too bad. And I thank God that I didn't have to experience total loss for me to say yes to to what he wanted in my life. I pray that you don't have to experience a total loss in your life for you to respond to God. And God won't call everybody to lead people. God won't call everybody to speak before people. God might call you to bake red velvet cakes for everybody you know. God might call you just to sew something, to make something for everybody. God might call you to fix people's hair and make them look good. God might call you to be able to make sure everybody's cars. Ain't no telling what God will call you to do. But when he called you to do it the best we can, so God will get the glory for it.
Yes.
Many times I think about some of the things that when I first realized God was calling me to preach to people, to teach people, to lead people. Like Moses, I offered excuses. And you know, the excuse that stuck with me the most, what are those who know me gonna say when they find out that I'm preaching now? Well, you know, he ain't always been like that, you know. You know, I don't know if I could trust him as a preacher, because I remember, you know, he said he used to like to do certain things. You know, I remember hearing stories about him and stuff. And you know, not that it's good, bad, true or false, but people will always either have something they know about you or have something they made up about you. And why was it that? Why was I so concerned about what people would say about me preaching as opposed to what God would say about me preaching? God, when he called Moses to do something, he called Moses to do something that was humanly impossible. But he gave Moses an assurance. He said, certainly I will be with you. What greater assurance of knowing whatever God called or asked you to do, that God will surely be with you. What greater promise to know that God can't lie. God won't lie. If God tell you to do something, God will give you the opportunity to do it because God will be with you. What is it that God is calling you to do? Some of us been on jobs 30 years, 40 years, and we still hadn't heard God call us to do something on that job. You think you're on that job because that job is paying you money to pay your bills. God have you on that job because there's somebody either you have met, there's somebody that God is preparing for you to meet on that job. Oftentimes, Tisa and I joke about how we meet the same person in different forms. Tisa jokes about, I think it's 3 of them? 3 guys that have been the same guy but different names. Because she feel and she believed, and I do too now that she had mentioned it, that it's something about the personality and the character of that person that's a struggle for her, but yet God wants her to encounter it long enough so she can overcome it and be her best self.
That's it.
Isn't it amazing how God do the same? He did it for me too. I didn't realize it. But there are certain personalities that rubs me the wrong way. And how is it that God always put that type of person in front of us? How is it that that person that rubs you the wrong way, their name might change, they might look a little differently, but you know, you remind me of somebody. And chances are they remind you of somebody you didn't like. And they remind you of somebody that rubbed you the wrong way, and what has happened is you didn't pass the test with the first person. So God sent you another person just like him. And you didn't pass that test either. So God just gonna keep on sending. How many times did God have to tell Moses, I'm gonna send you to Pharaoh, and Pharaoh is gonna say no? And then he said, I'm gonna send you to Pharaoh, and I'm gonna harden his heart, and I'm gonna tell him to tell you no. Why would you send me to Pharaoh and then tell me you'll tell him to tell me no? Why do I have to go there if you're gonna tell me no? I would have been pissed off. You know, why would Moses keep on going? This is God talking. Moses, go to Pharaoh and say, let my people go. But I'm going to tell Pharaoh to tell you no. Why am I going then? I'm going to give you this job. I'm going to pay you a lot of money. But I'm going to give you a boss that's going to piss you off every day. I'm gonna get you a brand new house, but I'm gonna give you a neighbor who don't never cut his grass and who always fixing no cars in the front yard next door to you. And your other neighbor gonna play music loud every night.
Goodness.
Why would God do that to us?
Yeah.
So we can have an encounter for God. So when we're able to accept that person who irritates us and love them in spite of, then we know it had to be God. Because ain't no way in the world I could put up with you. You know it's only God then. You know it had to be God that sent Moses to Pharaoh all them time, and Moses just kept on going. I ain't even tell y'all all the excuses Moses gave God. Well, you know I can't talk. God said, I'm the one who gave you that stammering tongue. And you know, I ain't gonna do it this time. I used to always try to imitate Moses when he had to go to Pharaoh. I ain't gonna do it. But can you imagine God telling Moses, I'm the one who gave you the stammering tongue. So I'm the one who can fix it, but since you feel like you can't do it, I'm gonna send your brother Aaron with you. I know Aaron got a good tongue. He know how to speak the right language, so I'm gonna let him talk for you. Remind me of this show I used to look at. It was a preaching show used to come on TV years and years ago, and I don't even know what the pastor's name was. But me being who I am, I used to kind of, not necessarily make fun of it, but I used to kind of pick holes in the message. Because this pastor, he always had this other guy on the side of him, and the other guy would read the Bible. He was like, now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law. And then the pastor said, now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law. And after he kept on doing it, I said, man, I want to get that pastor read. Because the man kept on reading it, and then the pastor just repeated what the man said. So I just think, I said, man, he's probably a good preacher, but he can't read. So God had to give him somebody to read for him to preach. Because he probably told God, I can't read. I don't know if I can preach it. And God probably said, okay, I'll give you this man, and he's going to read for you so you can preach.
Amen.
A lot of us have been called to do something for God, and we feel like we're unqualified or ill-equipped, and we will complain to God so much that God will give you the help you need. And I'm so glad that God has given me help. I'm so glad that God knows my shortcoming, God knows my deficiency, and He will do the same for you.
For you, yes.
There's something that God wants each one of y'all to do that's going to be great.
Yes.
And it's going to require something that you don't feel qualified to do. But I promise you, if you were to step out on faith for God, God will call you out of that place and will give you help to do what you can do. I always considered myself growing up to be shy. And when I found out that people didn't think I was shy because I learned how to act and I learned how to disguise it. But deep down inside, I would get butterflies in my stomach, my hands stuck. Every Sunday, I still get butterflies. My hands still sweat. And people say, why you talk so fast? I'm nervous. Why you run words? I'm nervous. Every now and then, you know, eventually it kind of goes away. But still, God, even if I talk fast, somebody will hear something I said. Even if I stammer, somebody will get what they need to get. So what you have to realize is God wants you to step out on your fear and trust that He will be with you.
Thank you, God. That's it, yes.
There are people right now who have jobs, who want to make more money. But I don't want to be no supervisor because, you know, people don't like supervisors. People don't like managers. Who cares what people like? You become a supervisor or manager, you make more money, now your family happy. I don't want to say because then, you know, people think I don't came Uncle Tom now. And people, you know, who cares? People will always talk about you. People will always have something to say about you. Oh, you know, Shanta, she done changed now. You know, they done made her team lead, and you know, she ain't like us no more. She done changed now. Who cares? They talking about you already. At least I got more money in my pocket while they talking about me. I don't care now. You know, quit being afraid to become more because of what people will say.
That's it.
I remember I told a story about how I was smart in school and I made good grades, and I was ashamed to let people know I was making good grades. Because there were a lot of people in class that weren't making good grades, and they made not making good grades seem cool. I wanted to be cool with them. So I realized how dumb I was. I was supposed to have been a small one. And here I am making bad grades, knowing I could have did better on some of those assignments because I wanted to be like all the other people who weren't making good grades. we have to have our aha moments.
Yeah.
We have to have our God encounter. I remember one time I called myself go try to talk like some of my family members, and my grandma put me to the side. She said, "You don't talk like that. You're different. You're smart. You don't be talking like that." That's how they talk. You can't talk like that. I don't want to ever hear you talk like that again. And I don't even remember the conversation. But I remember I was trying to talk like them and try to stand like them and hold my hand like them. And she's like, "You don't talk like that." And I felt even worse after that. Even though I did what she said, but I felt worse. I'm like, boy, they probably think I'm just the biggest nerd in the world and just not cool at all and all this stuff. But it's okay to be different. It's okay to be different. Moses had no idea that he was going to be the person who we'll be talking about 2,000 years later, because he was obedient to God after giving God resistance. How many of you know, as I close, God can handle your resistance? He'll listen to it long enough and say, "All right now, you do know who I am. Either you're going to do it, or I'm going to make you do it." And God don't have to make us do it. God just puts situations around us, and those situations will make us do it. He said, "I'm going to send you to Pharaoh, and I want you to tell Pharaoh, let my people go. And I'm going to tell Pharaoh to tell you no. And then I'm going to tell you to tell Pharaoh, by whatever time God told me, this is what's going to happen. All the water will turn to blood. By whatever time God told me, this was going to happen. Locusts going to spread all over the field." You know, God started telling Moses, "This is what I want you to tell Pharaoh." And then Pharaoh will say no, and then you go tell Pharaoh this, and Pharaoh ain't going to believe, and all this stuff going to be going back and forth. Have you ever had somebody to tell you something, and you have to go back and forth, and you don't like going back and forth? That's what I like about CarMax. CarMax say, "We don't hackle. We don't house you. The price you see on the car, that's the price you're going to pay for it. Ain't no back and forth." When I used to sell cars years and years ago, a customer would come up to me and they say, "I want a car, I want to pay $300 a month." I go to the sales manager. They say they want a car, they want to pay $300 a month. Tell them we don't have a car that's for $300, but we got one where we can get for $375 a month. And the manager said, "We got a car that we can get for $375. No, I want one. Okay, I'll do $325. They said they'll do $325 now. Well, they do $325, they'll do $350. We're going to tell them $350. And you know, I'm going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I hated being put in the middle, going back and forth, back and forth. But how many of you know that's what God would do to you? God will send you to your enemy will send you back to God. God will send you to your enemy will send you back to God. God will send you to your enemy will send you back to God. Back and forth, until eventually you say, "Wait a minute, hold up. I know what God wants me to do now."